The 1980s. Also a lot of kind of interesting things as well. You know, I was born in 1984, which meant I was there when Ronald Reagan won his landslide election. The Summer Olympics were in Los Angeles, in which the Soviets actually boycotted, which makes sense because we boycotted the 1980 Olympics in Moscow. Apple releases the first Macintosh personal computer, and The Cosby Show finally premieres. Other interesting things that also happened: Michael Jackson's hair catches on fire during a Pepsi commercial, and infomercials start to begin. So, you have to hand it to us from the 80s for having all those interesting infomercials and commercials sort of like that. So without us, there would be no Ginsu knives, there would be no Mr. T's Wave thing or whatever he sells now, whatever that device is, and there would also be no Ronco. So you got us to thank for that. But why am I here talking about the 80s? Not because I'm trying to be nostalgic on here, but because I'm trying to say just how interesting and how awesome cartoons of the 80s were. There were tons of them, but the ones I really just remember are the ones I actually watched. I mean, I can't say anything about, say, like Chuck Norris Karate Commandos. Well, didn't expect that to happen. Anyway, I can't really say too much about that because I really didn't watch it too much as a kid. I can only talk about the ones that I actually watched as a kid. So that's why I'm here. I'm going to talk about some of my favorite ones that I watched back in the late 80s. I say late 80s because I was really too young when a lot of these came out. I mean, but at the same time, I didn't really start watching TV until at least maybe 5 or 4. I don't even remember anymore. But so here are my favorite ones of the 1980s. But I will say this though, I'm not going to talk about a few of them for risk of copyright infringement. And I want people to see my message rather than actually having to do with anything bad. That's kind of an issue here on YouTube. If I wasn't on YouTube, maybe I can think of something else. But until I can actually find a different server, I'm stuck here on YouTube. So YouTube, thank you for hosting me. So we start off things with the 1988 futuristic police thing known as Cops. One of my favorite ones of all time. I have a lot of these toys too. So, like, you know, futuristic police officers fighting crime in the concrete jungle. I don't even remember like what city they had. It was something kind of cool. And they had a nemesis known as Big Boss. No, not that Big Boss, but someone who's kind of reminds me of Kingpin from the Spider-Man comics. I mean, it was just a really good one. I mean, they had like kind of generic names. There's like this one guy who was like the generic cop of the time. Only he had like something in his arm. He had something that sort of shot out. It was like handcuffs or something. It was kind of fun. That was also kind of cheesy at the same time. I don't know. I still enjoyed it. Not to be outdone, 1988, I was introduced to Duckula. Even before that whole Twilight crap came out, we had this. A vampire duck.
Did not run according to plan.
So it was just about his wacky adventures and stuff. He would go on these like things, like his house would be like some sort of time machine or something. But if you really want a time machine, you have to like think back to the future. That's a time machine. Either that or the police box from Doctor Who. But we're not going to go too much into that because we're talking about cartoons. Another one of my favorite cartoons of all time from the 1980s is the 1987 classic Dino Riders. Now picture this. Humans, back in prehistoric times, riding dinosaurs with guns. But no, it's like just a classic human versus aliens battle thing, you know, just with dinosaurs. All this stuff goes on, and you know, they're just trying to find their way off of the planet. But as far as I know, I didn't really watch the last season, which only lasts for like about 2 seasons. So I didn't really see the second season too much. Apparently they just got more advanced and they had more dinosaurs at the time. It was kind of funny too because if you're actually into dinosaurs like I was back in the day, you actually know that a bunch of dinosaurs do not exist in that period together. So it's sort of like Jurassic Park in a way that they introduce everything into one collective unit. Another very interesting one, going back to 1989, is Captain N, the Game Master. This was every kid's dream, I swear to God. Have you ever wanted to just go into a video game? I sure have. Everybody has. I don't know. Maybe everybody. But still, you know, just see a standard plot line. You know, kid gets stuck into the video game world, has to defeat a villain from Metroid. Well, come on, I think it looks a lot better than the actual game Metroid than this. I'm not complaining. Also, they made a lot of cameos from a lot of different characters at the time. You know, you got Mega Man, you got Simon Belmont, who doesn't even look like him. He looks like more like a pilot from like steampunk or something. It's kind of strange and kind of frightening to me. But in all, I really enjoyed this one. It also came on during, you know, let's just keep a couple things in mind. I'm not going to say a lot of the shows I know and watch there. You know, just I'm just going to skip over like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles from 1988 and all these other ones from that time because, simply put, copyright infringement is kind of a serious thing here on YouTube. And I'm surprised that a lot of the shows that are on actually YouTube are not even being taken down. But at the same time, I'm pretty glad. So, you guys out there who are actually doing all those, hosting all those, videos of like all these cartoons and stuff. So I give you thumbs up for that. I really do, because it gives me a time to like reminisce on my childhood and gives me even less reason to actually grow up. But doesn't mean I won't grow up anytime soon. But I'm just saying though. I mean, I'm 26 right now. I'm trying to get into a career and stuff. But it just, you know what I mean. Just a couple things before I go. I'll be up at the Connecticut Convention Center this weekend, the 9th through the 11th, for ConnectiCon. So if you see me there, I'll be wearing this, on the very first day, just to, hang out and stuff. I was like, get some scenes from the con center, that sort of thing. I want to talk to you guys as well. If you guys see me, and I'm wearing this, even if I'm not wearing it, I don't even know if I will be or not. I'll most likely be wearing this. Just look for my hat. Just, just say hi. You may even appear in my next video, which will be the ConnectiCon report. So please, I want to get some input from you guys. See how I did, what you liked, what you didn't like, any tips you can offer me, that sort of thing. I want to get some information from you guys, because without you guys, this whole experiment of mine wouldn't even be possible. So hope to see you there, and have fun. So, check it out. When you're trying to film something, make sure you don't. Make sure you do it. Do this one more time if I can't do this. Okay.